Here is a Foamcore insert tray I've designed for Power Grid's base game. Prior to making this insert, there was one expansion map in the box already, meaning the dimensions I worked with accommodate a total of 2 maps, hence why the depth of the piece is slimmer than that of the box. Now if you still have the original cardboard insert that came with the game, it will need to be discarded to fit this piece. To fit everything together, we will first take both the rulebook and the maps and put them into the box. As you can see, this tray sits flush with the box edge. Now depending on how you view it, one of the reasons why certain games don't make it to the table is the amount of time needed in setting up components and game pieces. Ready-made storage boxes for small crafts is a cheap solution in this case, but you need to take the time to open them up. For this, I've made containers that have no lids on top, so setup is just a matter of pouring them out. But this leaves the question of, how do you prevent pieces from spilling when you store the box away, especially if you like to put the box on its side, like in a bookshelf for example. My solution was to make slots fitted to each container, and the idea should solve 2 problems. The first, if each box fits itself into a niche made to match its size, the niche acts as the lid itself. And 2, if the box can't move around while in the niche, well, it can't spill any pieces at all. Brilliant. Each niche is clearly labeled with small arrows helping you orientate the direction of each container. Now you may have noticed that the insert has 2 square holes on opposite ends. That is there so you can use your finger to lift out this tray to access the map and the rulebook. Also, having the hole in place means you won't experience a suction effect when lifting the tray. As for the power plant cards, these sections made are only enough to accommodate the cards from the base game. These cards are sleeved, so it will accommodate the deck's overall height. Knowing how big of a pain it is to pick up cards off a hard surface, I have the card sitting on a sort of pedestal so that you can get your finger underneath more easily to pick up the entire stack. The primary reason why cards aren't in a container like the paper money for example, was simply because there just wasn't enough room to do so. So what I've thought of was adding a lip on one edge that sticks out just enough to hold the cards in place, sort of like what I'm doing with my thumb right now. And to hold down the other side, you can jam a piece of foam in this slot at the end. As foam naturally expands and has a textured surface, the cards can grip onto this, preventing the cards from moving any further. Lastly, just for the fun of it, we're going to do a shake test to see how well the contents stay together. We'll simulate the game box being moved in and out of shelves by putting it onto its side or even upside down, in case you have that one friend who does that sort of thing. Now considering that I didn't have the piece of foam for this video, the cards held up pretty well, but more importantly, nothing is out of place, no spills, no misery. And that was my Foamcore insert tray for Power Grid.